Hi, I'm Mike Ryle with Dream Spas and Pools. I'm one of the certified installers for AquaGuard, and we're doing this training video to help some of the new installers or maybe get some tips to some of the older installers. And what we're concerned about is the gunite pool, it's gunite and then it's hand plaster over the top of it. If we can't stabilize the plaster underneath the AquaGuard, then the AquaGuard is going to fail. So it's our job to go in and make sure that that is stable and it's adhered properly to the concrete or the gunite. And one of the ways I used to do is if I use a pole, and if you can listen, hear that sound, this is solid. But as I come over, I can find a place that's failed. You can actually hear the difference in it and the sound of it. And I know at this area right in here, and I can just go around the edge of it, make a mark just about where I'm at, just an area about like this. Once we find one of these areas, then we're going to remove them, because they're already coming, they've already laminated from the concrete. As you can see right here in front of us here, we've already found one that we've done. And we've tapped it, found out where it's at, and then we can check the underneath, and you can see the underneath is solid by the sound of it. And we've worked our way around it so that we're back into good material. And what's happened with this is that they originally had plastered it, and for some reason either they changed the colors or they had some small cracks or hairline cracks they wanted to fix in it to update this pool. They had painted it. And we've made a determination that it's not a latex paint or rubberized paint, and we found out that it is an epoxy paint. So we need to remove this, because what's happened is it's oxidized. And you can see where it's on my hand where it's oxidizing. So we need to remove that oxidation so we have a clean surface, so our epoxies will properly bond to the surface. And what I do is I use a 7-inch grinder, and I start out with a finer grit paper like a 32, and then I work it down. And we found out on this particular pool that our production rate is the highest when we get about 24 grit. Now I can go down to 16, but the problem with 16 is it'll remove it faster, but then it gives me a rougher surface and it actually gouges it. And in those gouges I have to come back and fix before I can put my epoxies on, or during the process I have to get them filled. We've identified all of our cancer spots, as you can see, and we've taken a pneumatic hammer and removed them. My next step that I prefer to do is take a pressure washer and wash everything down so I don't have any residue or dust or anything like that that's going to affect the acid etching. I let it to dry. It doesn't have to be completely dry, but I don't want any puddling on it. When we use our muriatic acid to etch this and to neutralize the surface, we're using 2 parts of water and 1 part of muriatic acid. And when we do this, we want to make sure that there's no puddles of water in there so that it'll dilute the acid, because we're looking for a boiling effect to where it's actually causing a caustic reaction with the chemicals. So we know that we've got everything washed. If we find an area that's doing a lot of blistering or bubbling, then we want to work more on it, even if we have to get to a stainless steel brush and a pole and physically work the surface with the acid on it. Once we've stabilized the surface with the acid, then we're going to go back in with our pressure washing. Once we do the pressure washing, we're going to use a 3,000 psi tip pressure washer with a turbo tip on it. This will remove any of the loose product that may be on there, but it's not quite ready to come off, and it'll make sure it's a stable surface. Once we get done with that, then we'll start indoor plastering.